General Sir Alfred Reade Godwin-Austen KCSI, CBOBE, MC was a senior British Army officer. He served during the First and Second World Wars. Early life. The second son of Lieutenant Colonel A.G. Godwin-Austen, late the 24th and 89th. Godwin-Austen was educated at St. Lawrence College, Ramsgate and the Royal Military College, Sandhurst. He was a great-grandson of Major General Sir Henry Godwin, who commanded the British and Indian forces in the Second Anglo-Burmese War. His uncle was Henry Havisham Godwin-Austen, who gave his name to the second highest mountain in the Karakoram Range. This mountain is now better known by the more neutral title, K2. Army career. Godwin-Austen was commissioned into the South Wales Borderers in 1909 and during his service in the First World War was awarded the Military Cross. On the outbreak of the Second World War, Godwin-Austen had just been promoted Major General to command 8th Infantry Division, responsible for internal security in the British Mandate of Palestine. After the division was disbanded in February 1940, he was nominated in July to command 2nd Division, which was forming in Kenya. Before taking up his command, however, he was sent in mid-August 1940 after the Italian invasion of British Somaliland to take command of the British forces there. His actions allowed almost the entire Commonwealth contingent to withdraw to Berbera. Further, it was successfully evacuated to Aden. Commonwealth losses in the short campaign are estimated to have been exceedingly light, about 260. The British Prime Minister, Winston Churchill, stung by the loss to British prestige, criticised General Archibald Wavell concerning the loss of British Somaliland. It was Wavell's Middle East Command that was responsible for the loss of the colony. Because of the low casualty rate, Churchill fretted that the British had abandoned the colony without enough of a fight. He demanded the suspension of Godwin-Austen and the convening of a court of inquiry. In response to this criticism, Wavell claimed that Somaliland was a textbook withdrawal in the face of superior numbers. He pointed out to Churchill that a bloody butcher's bill is not the sign of a good tactician. According to Churchill's staff, Wavell's retort moved Churchill to greater fury than they had ever seen before. Wavell refused to accede to Churchill's demand and Godwin-Austen moved on to take command of his division in Kenya on the 12th of September. However, Churchill was to retain his grudge towards him. During the East African Campaign he led the 2nd Division as part of East Africa Force, commanded by Lieutenant General Alan Cunningham. In its advance from Kenya into Italian East Africa, his division advanced into Italian Somaliland on the 11th of February and by late February had scored an emphatic victory over Italian forces at Jelib. Once Mogadishu had been taken, Cunningham swung his force in and across the Ogaden Desert and into Ethiopia, entering the capital, Addis Ababa, on the 6th of April. At the end of the campaign he was promoted to his last fighting command, leading the Western Desert Force in the Western Desert Campaign in North Africa. During Operation Crusader he was vociferous in his opposition to the suggestion of Alan Cunningham, by now commanding 8th Army and saw once more his direct superior, that they should abandon the offensive after the setback of Rommel's dash to the wire. The C&C Middle East, by then Claude Affleck, chose to continue the offensive and Operation Crusader went on to relieve the siege of Tobruk and push the Axis forces back to El Agila while Cunningham was relieved of his command. When Rommel counterattacked in January 1942, the Allies were forced to retreat in some confusion. Godwin-Austen, seeing that one of his divisions, Indian 4th Infantry Division, was under threat, after consulting with Cunningham's successor, Neil Ritchie, ordered them to withdraw. However, Ritchie changed his mind and issued a countermand directly to the division's commander Francis Tucker. Feeling that Ritchie had by this action displayed a lack of confidence in him, he tendered his resignation to Affleck, which was reluctantly accepted. Tucker was later to write, his going was the latest of many misjudgments which had started to shake confidence in the leadership. We lost the wrong man. In spite of support from the Chief of the Imperial General Staff, General Sir Alan Brooke, and Sir James Grigg, the Secretary of State for War, Churchill was adamant that Godwin-Austen should not receive a new posting. Churchill relented in November after the intervention of the South African Field Marshal Jan Smuts, and Godwin-Austen was appointed Director of Tactical Investigation at the War Office. He subsequently became Vice Quartermaster General at the War Office and, as the war ended, the Quartermaster General and then Principal Administrative Officer in India, reporting to the C.N.C. Claude Affleck. He was knighted in 1946 and retired in 1947, having achieved the rank of General. Career Summary. Commissioned the South Wales Borderers 1909. Commanding Officer 2nd Battalion, Duke of Cornwall's Light Infantry 1936 1937. Head British Military Mission, Egypt 1937 1938. Commanding Officer 14th Infantry Brigade, British Mandate of Palestine 1938 1939. General Officer Commanding 8th Division, Middle East 1939 1940. General Officer Commanding, British Somaliland 1940. General Officer Commanding, 2nd Division, East Africa 1940. General Officer Commanding, 12th Division, Ethiopia 1940 1941. General Officer Commanding, 12th Division, East Africa 1941. General Officer Commanding, 13th Corps, North Africa 1941 1942. Commandant of Staff College, Camberley 1942. Director of Tactical Investigation, War Office 1942 1943. Vice Quartermaster General, War Office 1943 to 1945. Quartermaster General, India 1945. Principal Administrative Officer, Indian Command 1945 1946.